Uh, the six proposals really a collection of things that we've been looking at Central Council for a while now, and much of it is as a result of various kinds of feedbacks that we are getting. And so some of it is to be done so that we close kind of loopholes. Others will be done or implemented so that we can more consistently apply our rules. And some others will address things that are actually not fully or properly covered in the manual. So, all right. As you can see, I'll be addressing 7 changes. The 6 of them are technical, and the 7th, the Handicapper's Manual, really is addressing how these things can or should be implemented following our bylaws. Just from the titles, I think I don't need to read them, so I just cut right into the individual proposals. Now, the next one is something to bring us more in line what's going on. And the proposal is replace the Symmetrical Spinnaker Max Girth measurement with the Mid Girth measurement for sail area calculations. The measurement shall follow the definition in the equipment rule of sailing. One of the reasons for this is that the measurement is easier to do on a more consistent and repeatable basis when you simply just measure the luffs and measure the girth that way, rather than trying to stretch out and draw arches at various points along the from the centerfold to the luffs. And also, and this will bring our sail measurement rule more in line with most other rules, including one design rules, and that will make easier to accept a one design sail for the purpose of girth measurement. Now, from experience, what I've seen is the difference between the max girth and the mid girth is very small. And the mid girth measurement is usually a little bit smaller than or equal to the max girth. So I'm proposing that this is not going to be a mandatory remeasurement of all the spinnakers, but it will be in the best interest of the owners to update their measurements for a potential small handicap improvement. So are there any questions?
There have been no questions in the last 15 seconds, so I believe
Fran has her hand up.
Oh, I'm seeing that. Oh, there are 2 more that just showed up. So Fran,
And
I'm getting to them. Fran said, using mid-girth will require many handicappers to have to remeasure. This may also have many buying. And she's typing a little more, so.
Well, it will, as I said, it will not be obligatory. It will remain an option for the owner to ask for remeasure or provide remeasurement information on the same spinnaker for a possible small improvement in their handicap. But it's not mandatory, so there's not much of an extra workload on anybody.
And for some one design classes, that's what your sails were built to, so it should help you out. I'm thinking specifically J22s, 24s, etc. Okay, and that covers all of the open questions right now. So I think we're safe to move on, Adam.
Well, then,
Oops, sorry.
mind post the vote.
There is no vote on this.
Yep.
So we have two more coming up here. Fran wanted to continue by saying buying new sails for boats that sail well dead downwind, and the J24 is an example of a boat that will have that happen potentially. So I don't see a particular question there. Oh, have a 6-second change? I don't.
Nope. That's yet to happen.
Yeah, that's yet to happen, Fran. So, oh, okay. Would everyone mind if I just allowed Fran to? Is there anything else you'd like to add, Fran?
Well, Susan Sproul has a question.
Yes. I'll get to Suze and I'll see what I can do with Fran. Susan asks, we have some boats that are currently showing a mid girth that is less than the foot. Our worksheet fails to catch this.
Well, in the new rule, we will be using the mid girth measurement and it will catch it.
And the next part, addendum to Sue's, is does this come in effect in 21 or 22?
Well, we will come to this at the end, but I think it's effective only in 22.
Yes. So the answer is
according to our rules, we are right now give a forewarning. These are the new rules that are coming up, but it's going to be effective next year.
Yeah, so let me see if I can get Fran, because she has her question. I'm going to throw her on the panel for a second and see if I can unmute Fran, because this
Owen,
answer.
you can just allow them to talk.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm just going through us to unmute. So please unmute yourself, Fran. And you should be able to speak now.
Yeah, I really have a lot of problems with this whole idea. I know a couple of years ago when I cared more about how fast I went and winning races and stuff like that, I probably would have bought a new sail just because you can really make a better downwind sail with more area using a mid girth. The other thing is the J24s, we already went through this with the J24s. They are going to have to change because their rating will be significantly increased if they start having their sails measured to mid girth. And even if we change the ODR rating to account for this, all they have to do is then go to a perf rating instead of an ODR rating. People are going to be playing with this to their maximum advantage, and it's going to be a lot of extra sail measuring and maneuvering, and I really just do not see the advantage other than the idea that the mid girth can be used for the further discussion that Adam's going to have on spinnakers, code zeros, et cetera, et cetera. I have just a lot of problems with that. And I really have not seen the TAC report. Maybe even Kevin can help me out, feel better about this, because I feel very, very negative towards this. And I just know the playing that's going to start going on.
I'm going to ask Kevin to unmute himself.
Everyone got me there?
Yep, you're there.
Okay. It's going to be a very small change when it comes to it. I think you very rightly came with the boat most likely to be the one that's most changed by it, being the J24, in that most of those spinnakers, because of the way their rule is written, is going to have a very low max girth, deep down low in the foot area of the sail. So they may get slightly underrepresented in total sail area. However, since all new measured spinnakers will have a foot length and a mid girth, it will give us a very good approximation of the area of that sail along with the leech lengths. Actually much more accurate than we used to use with the old IOR formula. So I think we're actually just getting one example that nails it on the head of where it may change, but if they're using class sails and sailing under a class rating, it really won't ostensibly affect it very much.
Kevin, I found that when I was measuring the J24 sails, that their girth was up high, not low.
Well, it depends on the sailmaker. Going back to what we did with Harstick, they were very much fairly back. Basically, max width, max girth was aligned with the foot.
I can't say that was my experience, and I've measured a lot of J24 spinnakers made by Harstick.
Well, hang on, I just hit the wrong button there. Put it in the calculator. If we work it with the leech lengths, the foot length, and the mid girth. Oh, hang on. Am I still there?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
You're
I
still
think I'm
there.
not supposed to hold my space bar. Okay. It's going to change, but if you put it in the spreadsheet, we're only going to be talking about 1%, 1.5% changes.
I think one of the key points here is that we're taking Perf Lake Ontario's definition from max to mid, which is consistent with the equipment rules of sailing. And this is an internal clarification essentially that keeps us internally consistent with that, because we say we will comply to the ARS.
I think the other thing too is we can't live in 1976 with our measurement rules. And when we're using a specific example of a shark or a J24 in Etchells that has a very specific rule that we can't accommodate everything else by the IOR definition forever and a day. And this, honestly, in the end, it works for everybody. And if somebody is making a sail that is illegal for J24 use, but measures better or handicaps better for perf, they're no longer sailing a one design boat with a one design rating.
I also feel that this will allow us to, or cut out the boats playing with between one design and perf rule. They'll have a one design boat, and we accept it as a one design for our handicaps. I think it will make life simpler.
Is that okay, Fran?
Do I have to agree with you?
No.
I mean,
Well,
it's okay, but I don't have to agree with you.
don't forget, Fran, that that during the vote you may end up with a group of people that will agree with you, and they'll vote down the change.
So Sue Sproul just make a comment. We have a lot of spinnakers that are more triangular. They are not getting the appropriate benefit for reduced sail areas. So I think that's more of a statement than a question, right, Sue?
Can we ask Sue the age of most of those sails?
Sure. And I have one more coming up, so just.
Well, I'd like to answer about the triangular sails. The formulas that we are using, they're more accurate based on mid girth because of the triangular shape of the sail. I'm sure Kevin can comment on that as well, because he's invoicing his clients based on actual cloth area. And this is how he calculates his area.
Yeah. Sorry, I skipped over one. The age, Sue says she does not know, but it's typical racer cruisers, not one design boats that have this.
As a comment I saw a comment that it would be a war of new spinnakers for
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
It's not, I wish it would. It would be great for business, but I don't think you'd actually see much of a difference. We're adding more measurement points. It goes back to the same as when we changed mainsails. And I understand there was some teething problems with that. But the more accurate we actually calculate the sail area of the sail and capture that with basically with 4 measurements, the 2 leeches, the foot, and the mid girth, that will give a really good approximation of the area of the sail. Like, yes, you can stack it high, you can stack it low for runners and reachers and different applications, but the overall area capture is much more accurate than a made-up SP width. So when we say, 180% and it's 95% of I squared J squared square root of, that capture of area is very inaccurate compared to using mid girth and foot like we are now. So all I can see is this giving us better data from buying sails. Most people's ratings will not change at all. And it's just, it'll give better data collection and a more fair platform for everybody into the future.
Just on the more triangular shaped spinnakers, that actually supports the proposal, because if you go for max girth, then you take the maximum width low down and then there's nothing higher up. Then you were penalizing as if the sail had the high area higher up in that spinnaker. So it will give you a benefit for the more triangular shape spinnakers.
Okay, I would suggest we've beaten this one. Shall we move on, Adam?